you are from Asheville or any of the surrounding towns, maybe you've heard of MANNA FoodBank, but do you know what the food bank really does? Today, we are really pleased to present our first episode in MANNA Live, a live stream from MANNA FoodBank. And today's episode is Food Bank 101, where we are going to be talking about all of the top questions that you might have about what a food bank does. For instance, how in the heck can you get 4 meals out of $1? We are so grateful to be doing this stream in partnership with Highland Brewing Company, a 20-year plus partner for MANNA FoodBank, who has over the years donated their time volunteering in our volunteer center, donating boxes for us to pack food in, and all kinds of other things, as well as funding. We are so grateful to them for their support, and we invite all of Highland's community to join us today on this live stream. I'm very excited to introduce a panel of experts when it comes to food banking today. Please join me in welcoming Mary Nesbitt, our Chief Development Officer, Jose Romero, our Inventory Manager, Leah Widener, our Buncombe County Agency Relations Manager, Leah Yetter, our Food Access and Support Team Manager, and Alyssa Schumann, our Volunteer Manager, AKA Shu, very important. Thank you all so much for being with us today. So, Mary, this first question is going to go to you. What is the difference between a food bank and a food pantry?
A food bank is a large distribution and warehouse center that sources food, procures food, and then picks up and delivers food across a regional area. And to put that in perspective, the goal obviously there being to get it to the people who need it most. And to put that in perspective in terms of the size and scope of our operations here at MANNA FoodBank, last year, we moved in and out of our doors the equivalent of 20 million meals to people in need across Western North Carolina. On the other hand, our food pantries are really like the arms and legs in local neighborhoods and communities. They're most often volunteer driven. They are located in various nooks and crannies across Western North Carolina, and they provide the food directly to those in need in those neighborhoods and communities.
Thank you so much. That is wonderful. So to follow up on that, who does MANNA help in our area, and what is our service area?
Yes, our service area is the 16 counties in Western North Carolina, and MANNA provides food to anyone who self-declares that they're in need of food. I can tell you what we're seeing right now at our pantries, our 240 amazing pantries across Western North Carolina. What we're seeing right now is growing numbers of the working poor, seniors on fixed incomes, single parent families, people with disabilities, and then so many people in marginalized communities who are in need of our assistance.
How else, including our partners who you mentioned, how else does MANNA get food to those people who come seeking those services?
Yes, beyond our incredible pantries and shelters and meal sites that we provide food for, MANNA is extremely grateful that we started a MANNA Community Market program just before COVID hit. And this is literally a pantry on wheels. And we can take that, we can drive right into high need, low resource communities and put the food directly in the hands of the people that need it. And it has been amazing. We needed it before the pandemic. We've needed it like you would not believe during this time to reach those underserved locations where there aren't pantries.
Thank you so much for giving us that amazing wealth of information. I know there's a lot to unpack in all of that, and hopefully throughout the rest of this stream, we can kind of get some of those things done. I'd love to jump over to Jose, our inventory manager. So Jose, once we have a minute to see, there he is. Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good, you?
Great. I know you're really busy today. Today is inventory day at MANNA, so that has lots of things happening. But while we have you with us, how much food does MANNA get into our community?
So Manna actually has a lot of different ways we get our food into community. We have delivery service, we have pickups, so people can come and our agencies can come pick up. We have the MCM program, Manna Express program, and CEM program. Last year we did about 21 million meals just in the year itself. So it was a pretty busy year for us. That equals to about 58,000 meals a day. So quite a bit.
That's amazing. I know that you guys stay very, very busy on the operations floor. So, what kind of food do we see here at the food bank and that goes out to all of our communities in Western North Carolina?
Yeah, so luckily we have quite a variety of food that we get here. From perishables, we have fruits, vegetables, milk, eggs, cheese. I mean, anything you can think of. Dry goods from baking, snacks, condiments, canned foods, things that can last a while. We also have frozen food too, which we get frozen meat. We get some beef, pork, chicken, fish, basically anything you can find at a grocery store. We were lucky enough and fortunate enough to have here as well.
What's been the most unique thing that you've seen recently? Just to throw you a random question.
I think the most unique thing is we for Thanksgiving we had just an amazing turnout when we did our turkey drive, and we had just over we were overflowing in turkeys for the longest time, and I mean it's a good problem to have because it was great, and just to see the faces of all the volunteers in the agencies, not knowing if they were going to be able to get turkeys this year, and then we surprised them with some extras there. So that was amazing.
That was wonderful. Yeah, if you're watching this live stream and you donated to our turkey drive, thank you so much because it really was such an outpouring of support this year. Thank you so much, Jose. I hope you're able to stick around a little bit, and if we have some questions come through the comments, maybe you can help us out then.
All right, for sure.
So I'm going to go to Leah W. Leah Widener, who is our Buncombe County Agency Relations Manager. Leah, thank you so much for being part of this today.
Yeah.
So how does an organization partner with MANNA?
Yeah, so we, as mentioned before, work with over 200 partners in Western North Carolina, and we're always looking at how can we do more to serve our neighbors who need it most. And we've made this process a bit more streamlined in the recent months. So if you go to mannafoodbank.org, we have a partner agency homepage where you can look to sign up for our open house. And our open house teaches community members, organizations, anyone interested, what it means to be a partner with MANNA FoodBank. And that looks like how much food do we get in our first order? What does it feel like to drive up and pick up an order with Jose and his incredible team? Mm-hmm. And we really explain what it means to be a partner, those basic requirements like being a church or a 501c3, and who will I contact if I have questions. So from there, you'll attend that open house and you'll learn more. You'll learn who you can ask those questions to on the agency relations team, and then we'll walk through that application process with you. So generally that takes a few months, but we really try to make it as comprehensible and understandable as possible because we want to help you serve our neighbors in need in a much quicker way. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And if you know anybody who's interested in being a partner with MANNA and helping distribute food, we are always accepting partner applications. We have an incredible, incredible group of partners in our network, and we're so grateful to have those folks. So how can people find out when our partners are open for food distributions, when they're handing out food?
Yeah, luckily we made this process very, very easy and accessible for folks. We have a link on our website, mannafoodbank.org, and we've got a great button there that says, where can I get help? So from there, you'll see a couple options. We have a food finder map and list that separates each food distribution site by county. It lets you know if it's a food distribution for a free food giveaway or if it's a meal site. And you can look at that by list. You can look at it on a map in relation to where you are. And then you can look at our MANNA community market sites. And those are those mobile pantries that Mary mentioned, Pantry on Wheels. And those span the 16 counties and Qualla boundary in our service area.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
There is a wealth of information out there for sure. So there's somebody who I know who might need food. What is the best way for me to help them? How can I get them in touch with these wonderful food partners?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think that though there are ways that you can go through our website to do this, the easiest way and the way that I know I prefer is calling a number saying, "This is where I am, where can I get help?" And luckily we have a great group of volunteers and staff on our MANNA helpline. And if you call the MANNA helpline, you can get in touch with one of those incredible staff and volunteers, and they'll tell you more about where food distributions are happening near you, what kind of wraparound services might be there, and get you assisted in signing up for SNAP benefits, which my colleague Leah Yetter will talk about more in a minute.
Let's get Leah Y in to talk about the helpline. Thank you so much, Leah. That is
Thank you.
such a wonderful way for people to understand how we connect with partners, how we work with organizations. So, Leah Y, let's bring her in. Hello, welcome. How are you today? It's great to see your face.
Good morning. Thank you. It's great to be here. And thanks for that intro, Leah W. The MANNA Food Helpline has been around since 2008. It started with a small group of MANNA employees who were assisting some of our clients and neighbors with SNAP or food stamp applications. And they really wanted to take it to another level, knowing that there were other resources and needs that these folks had. So they created this food helpline. It is now functioning with 20 plus volunteers and 4 full-time staff members. So we really couldn't do it without our volunteers. They do everything from answering phones, making calls out. They assist in getting application appointments scheduled with folks who do SNAP applications with our clients in need. Our lines are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 p.m. We also receive emails that come through this helpline as well. So you don't even have to call. You can find us through Google through a search effort. We'll get your email. It'll tell us all we need, and we'll connect with you through that way as well. We do not only SNAP or food stamp applications over the phone through this helpline, we also make referrals. Those referrals can be for food resources, local markets, food boxes, but we've also connected with other partners to help folks find other resources, including WIC or things like getting your house weatherized and weatherproofed for the winter months and other resources like that. So we don't just stop with food resources because we know there are a lot of needs out there. We work in the same 16 counties as the rest of MANNA for our helpline, but we also have provided applications for folks in all 100 counties in North Carolina because we can do it over the phone and we can connect them with their local DSS office. We not only connect through our helpline, but we connect through other avenues. We connect with folks in the prison community who are coming back into the general population and who want to get benefits set up. We go to markets and provide in-person applications. We go to certain shelters and local areas to do that. We also now offer, through the connection that Leah W. mentioned on our website, people can go directly to our website and schedule an appointment with one of our application assisters. Click, put in your name, email, a little bit of information. You'll be scheduled with one of our application assisters. They'll call you and get that application done, usually in 20 to 30 minutes. It's a really simple process when you've got an expert helping you. So that's wonderful. And we are always looking for volunteers. So if anyone out there is interested in joining this wonderful work that our volunteers do, and it's not just working on a helpline, they can do all kinds of other things to assist us, working out in outreach at our markets and things like that. So a lot of different options. To give you a small taste of how much work this helpline does and the volume that we handle, in 2021, we received 19,000 approximately calls in and out. It's a lot of calls in and out, emails in and out, communications in and out. And those turned into more than 11,000 successful connections for applications, for referrals. It's wonderful. We did over 2,000 SNAP applications for folks who needed those, which is wonderful. The email contact that I was mentioning to you that folks come in through an email system, we received over 10,000 of those. So that's on top of those calls. So we've done a lot and we do a lot and we're willing to do more. And we're so happy to be a part of MANNA and to provide this wonderful service for Western North Carolina and the entire state.
Wow, that is amazing. That is so much information. If you have questions about anything that Leah mentioned about the helpline or any questions for MANNA, we are open to answering your questions live right now. So feel free to throw those up in the comment section and we will get to things as we can. Leah, thank you so much. That is an amazing. Actually, I have one question for you. Can you tell us what SNAP is?
SNAP stands for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That is the federal program that oversees food stamp benefits. North Carolina refers to it as the FNS, or Food and Nutrition Services Program. That's specific to our state. They are all the same thing, and we can help you navigate that system.
Wow. Thank you so much, Leah. That is wonderful. Well, we will be back with you shortly and we will have more questions for you and our other folks. And I just want to do another quick shout out to our wonderful live stream partners, Highland Brewing Company, a partner of MANNA FoodBank and invested in food security for all of Western North Carolina alongside with us for over 20 years. We're neighbors and love being right in the neighborhood with Highland Brewing. So thank you so much, Highland, for being a partner on this live stream today. Let's bring Mary back and have a few more questions. Mary, so good to see you again. So give us an idea of what the relationship is between MANNA FoodBank and maybe another organization that people might have heard of, Feeding America.
Yes, Feeding America is the umbrella organization for a network of over 200 food banks across the country. Together, we are the single largest hunger relief organization in the nation, and we are so proud to be part of that network.
That is awesome. We really do. We have such strong relationships with our food bank partners right here in North Carolina too. So you might see us talking about them if you follow any of our social media channels or receive any of our emails. So one of the questions I love to answer when people ask is, how does MANNA turn one donated dollar into 4 meals? It often seems like maybe this is magic somehow, or maybe that we're not telling the truth about how this really works, but there is a wonderful explanation. Can you tell us how MANNA makes that happen?
Yes, there are really 3 fundamental ways that we are able to do this. Number 1 is our incredible volunteer base. We've mentioned them several times, but last year, our amazing volunteer base that's involved in nearly every aspect of the work that you've been hearing about donated the equivalent of time that would be 28 full-time staff people. That's 55,000 hours of service to help us get food out to the people across Western North Carolina. So when we say we can't do it without our volunteers, we literally mean it. The second way that contributes to that $1 equals 4 meals is our amazing and incredible partnerships with local, regional, and national food providers, retail, grocery chains, and so forth. And those partnerships allow us to get a significant amount of donated food. And we also work with many, many produce and packing houses, large ones, and local farms, and so forth. But bottom line, that donated food and having that be such a significant part of what we do really helps us get to that $1 equals 4 meals. And lastly, our operational efficiencies. MANNA is truly in the recycling and food rescue business. And I'll give you just a few examples of what that looks like in the day in the life here. But if we receive donated meat that is out of date, we donate that to, and we can't give it to people, we donate that to the wolf sanctuary. If we receive a bag of sugar that has a tiny tear in it and we're not going to distribute that, We donate that to local beekeepers. And also, sometimes the produce that comes in and out of our doors doesn't have much time left on it. And if we cannot salvage it, that does not go to waste either. That will go to local pig and cow farms for feed. So how those operational efficiencies help us is that on a daily basis, we save every dollar and stretch every resource that we have. And we're really, really grateful and proud to be able to share with everyone that's listening that also we provide 4 meals for every dollar, but 94 cents on every donated dollar goes directly to our mission.
We are very proud of that. We like to say that a lot, and it is really true. Thank you so much, Mary, for giving us insight into what seems like something magical, turning $1 into 4 meals worth of food. And we have a couple comments coming in. James says, great ideas when it comes to the donated food, how we're helping out the wolf sanctuaries, local beekeepers, our local farmers. And it really is true. We try to make sure that everyone, not just people, but all our livestock, our friends can eat, even our local wolf sanctuary, which is really fun. So we have a question coming in that I'd love to throw to you, Marty. What does the word MANNA mean or stand for? That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking that, Marty. Mary, is that something that you would love to answer?
MANNA stands for the Mount. Carol, will you answer that? Because I'm going to get the words interchanged and we need to do it justice.
Okay, so what has been implanted in my brain, Mountain Area Nutritional Needs Alliance. Yeah, we operate in a lot of acronyms here at MANNA. And thank you so much, Marty, for asking that question, because it is something that people don't know. It is definitely a fun fact that not many people know. Well, we are going to move on to our next segment of questions, all about volunteering. Thank you so much, Mary, for joining us. And we're going to bring Alyssa Schumann in as our volunteer manager extraordinaire, who is the point person for everyone who comes through MANNA's doors wanting to lend a hand and help out. Thank you so much for being with us today, Shu.
Absolutely. I'm excited. So, for a long time, we have said that volunteers are the heartbeat of MANNA, and that is such a true statement. As Mary said earlier, there is just no way that we could do what we do without volunteer support. Our volunteer community is incredible. They're amazing. They're superheroes. They're everything. But really, they come together to meet the need within our community. And it's just such a powerful and beautiful thing to see come together. And so it's really easy to get started volunteering. To volunteer, visit our website, and there's 3 simple steps. And the first is to create a volunteer profile. And from there, you'll join in on the orientation that we have. And that's for all new folks that are interested in volunteering. And then from there, you sign up. So it's that easy. And I'm here the whole journey. So if you have questions along the way, feel free to reach out. The easiest way to get involved is by volunteering in our warehouse. And so each day brings some new fun and adventure. But what that could look like is culling through produce. We have a ton of produce that comes through our doors. Last week we had cabbage, we had turnips, carrots, all sorts of goodies. And from there, we could also assemble MANNA packs, which supports our MANNA packs program and providing food to school-aged children so that they have food over the weekends and while they're out of school during the summer months. We can repackage bulk items. So we get these huge totes of beans, of rice. And so we're repackaging them into smaller retail portions. So it's a lot of fun. Most of what we do is physical. It requires standing for longer periods of time, lifting, bending, stooping. But, you know, we try to play to everybody's strengths based on their skills and abilities. So we'll have something for you here at MANNA FoodBank, that's for sure. And you can see on screen that adorable little kid that's helping. But anyway, we also welcome groups too. We have corporate groups, we have local businesses, faith-based organizations, schools, you name it, we got it. And so the way to go about doing that is to fill out a form on our website. And that'll give me some insight, a little bit more information about your group, what you're looking for, and it'll help me narrow down some options that we have available coming up. So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Shu.
Sure
And
thing.
and Shu is hands down the person to guide you through this process. If you are interested in volunteering at MANNA, we have an incredible group of volunteers and a volunteer team who help ensure that you always know what you're doing and that you are always doing something that helps put food on somebody's plate. We are really dedicated to making sure that our volunteers all really do have a hand in every single meal that goes out of our door every day, and not just a hand, but a huge piece of making that happen. Shu, tell us a little bit about what it's like to be a volunteer driver.
Ooh, well, it's a fun job. I wish I had it. But we have a volunteer driving team that will pair up and hit the road, and they can pick up food. They can deliver food to our partner agencies, to our community markets. And so there's a little bit more training that is involved, a defensive driving course and just things like that, a different kind of orientation. But it's a great way to get involved and to meet that need and, meet with our partner agencies and the clients that we're serving throughout our region.
That's a really unique job because our volunteer drivers actually get to go out to markets and deliver food directly to our neighbors who are there to pick up food that day, meeting people who are benefiting from the services and the wonderful work that everybody in our entire network does together. It's a very fun and gratifying, but very exhausting job. I'm sure our volunteer drivers would tell, and they really drive miles and miles to make sure that people are getting a full plate at the end of the day. Thank you so much, Shu, for joining us. We really appreciate that. And if you are interested in volunteering, it is just as simple as going to our website and looking under the How You Can Help tab. Our volunteer team does a wonderful job of educating all of our volunteers on not just what it's like to work in a warehouse situation, but what the work that we all do together really looks like and what it means at the end of the day. So if you're interested, go grab a volunteer slot and come join us, and we'll see you in the volunteer center. Thank you so much, Shu.
Thank you.
So let's bring everybody back. We have a few questions coming into the comment section, and I'd love for everyone to get a chance to answer some of these. I really love this. So this one sounds like one that I'm going to throw over to Mary. So Mary, if I want to donate to MANNA, is it more impactful to donate food or money?
What a great question. And thank you so much for that question. And it's more impactful we love all of our food donations and cherish every single thing that is donated, including the turkeys we talked about earlier. But truly, to have the biggest impact, a dollar goes a lot farther in our work, because for the food that we do need to purchase and that is not donated, we have significant purchasing power and economies of scale. So for the $2 you pay for something at the grocery store to kindly bring it here, we could probably get 8 to 10 items for that same $2. So, but we do appreciate both ways that people prefer to give.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm going to throw a few questions out. Whoever wants to answer, just throw your hand up and we'll go with you. So this is a question that I love to ask everybody who's been in the field and doing some work. What has touched your heart lately? What has been something that you have seen happen at MANNA or out in our community that has touched your heart about being involved in this wonderful place? And I'll give you guys a second to think about it, because sometimes our work can be a little tough, I know. And sometimes it's very joyful. I'd love to share something that really touched my heart recently. We often have people come right to MANNA and pick up food. We will often provide a food box, even though we aren't necessarily a distribution location. And every time that we get a chance to talk to those folks, we get real insight into their lives. Recently, a gentleman came to pick up a food box, and he had unfortunately just lost a job and had a car breakdown. And he told us that he talked to the Helpline, and they had set him up with getting help signing up for SNAP, which was awesome. And he just needed a little food to get through the next couple of weeks until his benefits started kicking in. And so that was such a wonderful connection for me to see in person what it really looks like for all of these things to come together to make sure that there's food today and tomorrow for the folks that we are serving. So anybody else want to jump in on a heart-touching moment? Shoo, go for it.
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, a donor, and I don't know who, but a wonderful donor brought by these gift bags that had birthday everything, birthday everything. So cake mixes, candles, decorations, everything. And it was so beautiful. And from what I heard, these kids assembled these bags so that people would have a special birthday and all the things that they needed to celebrate. So I just thought that was a really unique way to donate. And, it really touched my heart, because celebrating a birthday, especially as a kid, is huge, and you don't want to miss that opportunity. So I thought that was really very cool.
That is such a thoughtful way to donate to MANNA. I know we know firsthand, but sometimes it's hard to imagine that if you can't afford food, you can't afford simple things like birthday cake mix for your kids, and so stuff like that really is providing that hope that we talk about alongside of the food that we're all here dedicated to make sure that we're getting to the community. That is wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Shu. Anybody else want to share? Leah W., please.
Yeah, I'll share. So a great part about my job is I get very close to the partners that we work with. And there is a pantry that we work with very closely in Candler, and they started welcoming their neighbors attending the market to volunteer their time, which is a great way to get involvement and empower folks who are coming to get those services to be involved. And this particular volunteer, she started attending the markets, took on a certain section of the market, and now she's over the whole pantry and serves on their board. And it's so great to see, and the joy that she has and bringing new and nutritious foods out to the folks that she knows and has served alongside for years. It's a beautiful start to finish moment to see things like that work out. And she was able to do that with the help and support of people like Jose and people like Shu bringing volunteer support out there. And so it's just great to see all of those pieces come together.
That's amazing. Yeah. One of the things that we always see is the people who have come to MANNA needing help in the past are so giving and so likely to, when they are on their feet again, donate to MANNA, to come help out at a partner agency. We really do see that what goes around comes around in this world a lot. So it's so awesome to hear that people needing food are also helping at those distributions. It is so wonderful. Any other heart-touching moments? Yeah, Mary.
Well, I'll have to say the problem here is to narrow it down, because heart-touching moments happen here at MANNA by the minute, by the hour, by the day. And whether that's from a volunteer experience that we have, like I had last night, we just started a Thursday late afternoon shift. And I went downstairs and there was a very enthusiastic group of volunteers bagging these beautiful oranges and, citrus during the winter, the vitamin C and all of that. And they were just delighted to be here and be part of that. And, had a note from a donor just in the recent couple of days who said, I apologize, I'm not going to be able to continue to give to MANNA. I am moving to an assisted living. I'm 98 years and 7 months old, and please keep up doing what you're doing.
Wow, that is amazing.
And when I say that, these things, whether it's the people we serve, the people who are part of helping us serve those people and providing the resources and money that we need to be able to continue our work, it's a place that reminds you and celebrates everything that's right with the world.
That's such a great way to put it. I know that we all come in and feel energized every day for that very reason. Thank you for saying that so beautifully, Mary. It's wonderful. All right, we have a few more questions, so I'm just going to throw these in. And let's see. We have a question from Vicki. Thank you so much, Vicki. During this ongoing pandemic, have the ages of your volunteers changed? Have the seniors returned yet? That is a great question. Shu, do you want to take that one?
I sure can. So it has changed a lot. I wasn't here quite at the start of the pandemic. When that all started, we definitely did see a change with our volunteers and the ages. Now that the vaccine is available, we've seen a lot of people return, but some just still don't feel comfortable, and that's okay. We want everybody to make the decision that they feel most comfortable in. And so, yeah, it has changed a little bit, but I would say still we have a lot of seniors. We have a lot of folks that are retired coming here to help out each day.
Thank you so much. And yes, the pandemic did throw everything into both overdrive and a different world for us almost overnight, including for our volunteers. And we still are anxiously awaiting seeing some of those wonderful familiar faces whenever the pandemic really decides that it's done with us. Thank you so much, Shu. Okay, here's a question from James. Ooh, look at this one. During the turkey drive, are drivers available to pick up donations on weekends, as our quarterly food drives are conducted on Saturdays? If so, we would love to also collect turkeys rather than being limited to collecting only non-perishables. So let's see. That sounds like an agency-related question to me, or maybe an inventory question. Leah W., do you have thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I would say if you're looking to donate somewhere on the weekend, our list of organizations that are open to the public has their emails and phone numbers to contact, and those were given to us to share publicly. So I would say if people want to come here on the weekend, while MANNA might not be open, there are some partners who do that direct distribution that would love to take those donations of of those perishable items. Yeah.
Awesome. And we have a really extensive list. Thank you so much, James, for that question. We have an extensive list of partners who operate all over Western North Carolina in the 16 counties that MANNA serves. And you can find that on our website under the Where to Get Help tab. There is a Google map that shows all of our partners, and you can connect to folks who are distributing food right in your backyard. Thank you all so much. This has been such a wealth of information, and I want to say thank you to all of you for taking time out of what I know is very, very busy day for you all. And we would also like to thank our live streaming partner, Highland Brewing Company. We are so grateful for you and your partnership. Thank you so much for your decades of support and being part of this food security work alongside us. Thank you to everyone who has tuned into this live stream. We will be back with another episode in March, all about nutrition for National Nutrition Month. So we'll have some recipes that we're looking at from a lot of different partners. So definitely watch our social media feeds and stay connected with us. And we hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.